Hi kids, it's Tuesday's video where I normally talk about my projects and vlogs and suits and costuming and other things going on. I do something a little different at the moment because I've been speaking to friends and stuff and noticing a lot online, obviously. A lot of people feel down, me included. So many people I know suffer from depression, anxiety and those kind of things, and they're pretty heavy. I would say that I used to be pretty clinically depressed. I hit rock bottom once or twice a couple of years ago, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But the aftermath of that, like I tried to explain it to someone before, it's a bit like a car crash. Even though the car crash is quite a short thing, there's still circumstances, there's still situations, and it takes time to heal and to get better from that. Everyone does it in different ways, and sometimes I can have a good run of a good few weeks, but then now and again you'll get a day or 2 days where you just don't want to do anything. That's not being lazy, that's just you've got no energy in your mind, no energy in your body, and you can't actually cope with anything. You just lock yourself away. So with that in mind, this video is just going to be 10 things you can do to try and fight that. Right, disclaimer, I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor. All I'm saying is the things that I'm going to come up with they're quite easy to find online, and people talk about, if you just type in 10 things, but this is my spin on it. Because not everyone can run a mile a day, and not everyone can, spend money on therapy, or actually, not everyone wants to go down the medication and counselling route. But I'm just going to come up with 10 things that I found that help you get through the bad times. So I'm not saying do them all, but if you can do any of them, they will actually make a difference. They're not in any particular order, but some are more important than others, but I'll try and get through them as quick as I can. Okay, number one, have a look at your relationships, your friends and family. Again, my take on this is, if there's a really negative person in your life, it might be somebody you work with, it might be somebody you know, someone who just constantly bugs you online or whatever, take steps to get away from that person, or to just close down as much as you can of them and focus on the positive people. I'll give you an example. I used to work with two guys. Now, Mr. Negative was not horrible. He was a nice guy. But every time I suggested something or talked something, or he had an idea, he would just come back with, it's never going to work. It's been done before. It's never going to work. Forget it. But then I got friends with another guy who was like, yeah, let's try it. Let's just do it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Polar opposites. We were all in the same job, but we're polar opposites. As a result, I haven't heard from the negative guy for years. I'm told he's doing all right. But the positive guy, I've been friends with him for a long time, and he gets his down days, but most of the time he'll get back up to, making everyone else feel good. If you can, by this little side note, if you can make someone else feel good, no matter how rotten you're feeling, that will help. But we'll get back onto that next one. Second one. Oh, this is good. Be active or exercise. Now, I'm not an exercisey, activey, sporty person at all. What I mean by active exercise is just move, because there are days when I don't want to. I mean, look at my hair. Proof that I've been in bed. It's just gone 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've had to have a nap because I haven't got no energy, because my body clock is all over the shop and I keep terrible hours. But I've got my coat on. I'm going to go for a walk. Most of these things that I'm suggesting, you're not going to want to do. And that's the whole thing about depression. It just grabs you and tells you, don't even bother. But if you've got any fight in you, just have a go at it. So, when I mean by be active, I mean just go for a walk. Get up and clean the house. If you are completely knackered, fine, I can totally understand. But if you know it's a mental thing, where you're like, oh, I just want to sit here and stare at the wall, that's when you've got to just shake yourself and go, I can't keep doing this. Because it builds up and it gets worse. So move about, do stuff, try and it's all about getting feeling into your body, because when you're depressed and that, you don't feel anything, you're numb. If you can think different things and feel different things, then that shakes it all out of you, which is a great thing. Surprisingly, people I know who are very active and that rarely feel down. Now, I'm not going to take up jogging. I'm not going to take up a gym, but you've got to get out and get some fresh air. It's as simple as that, and then it will distract you, and we'll come on to distraction in a minute as well. Third one. This is a good one. Allow yourself to not be perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? Even the people who are perfect are not perfect. Trust me. Basically, it's okay to have crap days. It's okay to feel like there's no point. Oh, this idea you had yesterday was a brilliant idea, and now it's not worth doing. It's okay to feel like that, but as long as you keep in mind, it's not always going to be that way. I've got, as a creative person and a writer, I've got a folder about that thick of pieces of paper from years ago where I wrote ideas for stories and books and films and cartoons and sketches and all sorts of things like that. And I started thinking, that's rubbish, I'll bin it. Don't bin it. Never bin an idea. Put it away, because one day you'll come back to that, or one day you'll even have writer's block and you'll go through it and you'll go, that's actually not a bad idea, I can do something with it, because your mind changes, it never stays the same. So it's okay to feel depressed, it's okay to have a cry, it's okay to take a day off. I know a friend of mine once went on holiday because he was stressed. He was running a business and he just couldn't cope with his business. He was like, I can't work because I've got too much going on in my head. So he took a week off and he came back, and I said, how's things? And he said, you know what? He said, the world doesn't end if you take a day off. So remember that. It's like, you can take time out. There are obviously, people have, what's the word? The word where you have to do something. People are expected, you've got duties and I'll remember the word anyway. You have these things that you have to do, and there's certain things that you can't put off. But if you get to a point where you think, I can not do anything for a day, I cannot do anything for an hour, or if you've got the funds or the availability to go on holiday with some friends or something, and you think, oh well, I really shouldn't, I should save this money for a rainy day, just go on holiday, just do it, because life's too short. I haven't had a holiday for about 4 years, and it sucks. Okay, the next one, yes, aim low. This sounds really negative. Aim low, be small. But no, what it means is, if you're having one of those crap days, just try and achieve small things, small good things, because it's easier to feel happy about something you've done which is small. I remember one time I was at my lowest. I dragged myself into the kitchen, I pulled out some eggs, and I made an omelette, and nothing went wrong. Right? And this is just making an omelette. But as I sat there eating the omelette, I was like, I'm not a total failure, Now that may sound hilarious, but when you're at your lowest ebb, where you don't even think breathing and getting out of bed is contributing anything to the world, and you think you'd be better off not being in it, something as small as that can actually, again, it refreshes your mind into thinking, well, I can do stuff. If you think, my goal at the moment is, I'll just tidy the kitchen, and let's face it, it needs tidying. That could be the thing, Do something like that. Okay. Number 5. Eat and sleep and laugh. Eat healthy if possible. Now, I'm not a very healthy eater either. Look at the size of me. But when I know that I snack a lot because I stay up weird hours, I snack a lot. So I don't fill the fridge up with, pizzas and stuff. I do have pizza in the fridge, I do admit, but I've got celery in there, I've got bags of radishes in there. Now, whether it fills me up or makes me healthy or anything, I still get that little thing in my head going, well, snacking on 10 radishes and 2 sticks of celery, or an apple, or a banana, is probably better than, drinking half a bottle of whiskey, or, eating 10 pies in a row, because at the end of the day, you're still going to have food in your stomach, but you might feel a little bit like, well, that's, it's the healthier option. The other thing was sleep, if possible. Now, a lot of depressed people use sleep as a magic time machine to fast forward you through the bad stuff. And I do it as well. The thing about sleep is if you're able to do it, if you've got the opportunity to actually, say, grab a few hours, there's nothing wrong with that. Try not to let the sleep things, though, interfere with your friends, your real friends, and, the things that you definitely have to do. You don't want to start missing out on things because you slept. But they do say that you've got to have a decent night's sleep. I'm terrible. I mean, last night I went to bed at 3:49 a.m. Woke up at 8:50 a.m. Was completely knackered, tired. Ended up going back to bed at 11. Woke up at 1 because I've just had 3 hours of the best sleep I've ever had in my life. Now it's only 2 o'clock now, which is cool because I'm pretty sure I can stay awake till about midnight, which to me is sensible time. And then I can sleep properly through the whole day. So sleep is handy. The third bit of that was laugh, I think that was. Yeah. Again, it's all about putting different thoughts into your mind and changing things up a bit. So it sounds crap, but put your headphones on or whatever, put the telly on, put some music on. Listen to the music that you enjoy, because that will bring all sorts of things flooding back into your head. It'll shake off the numbness you feel. Watch a funny movie. You may be like, oh, I don't want to watch this, I've seen it before. Just one you remember enjoying when you were younger or whatever, but just put it on and just lose yourself in a movie for a while. Basically, you're distracting yourself. We'll get to that in 2 more points time. Fight the negative inner voice, and don't drop your book. You've got this inner voice in your head, and depressed people know this more than anyone. It's the whole, why even bother? They're only laughing at you. Who am I fooling? This is ridiculous. I'm pointless. Nobody cares if I'm gone. This is all bad shit, basically. It may be that at some point someone is laughing at you, and going back to point 1, cut that person out as much as you can, entirely if possible. I'll give you the whole Dr. Seuss thing. It's I would give you the whole, I can't remember it all, but it says something like, those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. So basically be yourself, because your true friends are not going to laugh at you and bash you or whatever. They'll understand. Now there are people who say they're your friends and they're going to just laugh at you behind your back or whatever. Ignore them. They've got a bigger problem than you, in fact. They're just socially parasites. But what I'm saying is, basically you've got this inner voice that's basically telling you, just got to remember that when you hear that or feel that, just try and think, that's not how it's always going to be. That's not my true voice. That's not actually the truth. It's the depression giving itself a voice to talk to me. It is the shoulder angel and the shoulder demon thing going on. It's like you've got this depression is a very big shoulder devil, and it's telling you, don't even bother. Nobody cares. You're ugly, you're this, you're that. You have to try and put it this way, listen to it, but don't act on it. Go, yeah, whatever. Okay, dude, you've had your say. I'm going to do something else. I'll go get myself a bag of radishes. Okay. I like radishes, they're good. The biggest one of the biggest ones, distraction. The distraction method is probably the one thing that everyone in the world uses more than anything else. I discovered this when I became a father. You can't stop your kid hurting themselves. If your kid hits something, bangs their head, walks into something, cuts themselves, whatever, they will scream the place down because they're focusing on the thing that hurts them. I went, look at the shiny thing over here, and the kid goes, oh, what? Oh, and they just stop crying just for a second, because that's how your brain works. If you can distract yourself from the bad shit, put something sparkly in the way. I'm talking, do anything you can. I tend to be as creative as possible and think of new things and write them down and doodle and everything just to distract myself from the bad shit. So, sorry, I'm saying a lot of profanity in this one. I don't usually swear a lot on videos, but bad shit's a good way to describe it. So anyway, distract yourself. You can distract yourself from pain, you can distract yourself from sadness, you can distract yourself from being tired, you can distract yourself from someone giving you grief or worries. If you can distract yourself just for a little bit, it stops the heavy feeling. And you can get this feeling on your neck and your head, like the world's problems on your shoulders. Distract yourself. It will work, and it does work. Number 9. Oh, this is just a little nice one. You must have heard of this before. I call it the happy box. And basically, you just get a little container. I've got a mug. And if something good happens to you one day, write the date on it, write on a bit of paper, write what it was, fold it up, stick it in the box, and leave it. And then if you get a really bad day, you can either start opening them and read them then, or you can wait till the end of the year and go through them in date order and go, wow, quite a lot of good things have happened to me. I'm doing it now. I'm not doing one a day. Some days I have 2 good things happen to me and I'll write both of them down. Some days I don't have any and I'll be like, okay. But it's a whole exercise in trying to remember the good stuff. And remember that your life is not one boring long existence where nothing good happens. Write something fun or happy or cool or exciting that happened to you today, and write it down, stick it in a bit of paper. You could even put it in a notebook and just, you don't have to fold it up like a raffle, which is what I'm doing, but just put it in a book, See that? That's a doodle, see? Anyway. See, I'm distracting myself again from what I'm supposed to be doing. Where are we? Ooh, 16 minutes. Okay, right. Alright, penultimate one. Have a goal, even a small one. I think I've mentioned this earlier on, but basically, if your goal, don't set yourself a massive things like, I've got to run a marathon, otherwise I'll be depressed. You're not going to do it. Just have a small goal, whether it's to contact someone you haven't spoken to for a while, spread the love a little bit. You have to remember that when you're depressed, even your best friend might be depressed as well, or feeling down, or angry about something, or worried about something. If you can, but this works as distraction as well, just reach out to someone else as well. You don't have to expect them to solve all your problems, and you don't have to solve theirs, but talk. Just having contact with somebody will help you greatly and distract you quite a lot. Okay, final one. This is definitely the most important one. This is my mantra for all of life. This is what I call the meaning of life. And a lot of people, once you get it, it sounds quite feasible. And with everything, it's something quite simple. I've boiled it down to 4 words, but I'll explain it first. Basically, remember that all this shall pass. I don't know if that's a biblical thing. I don't do Bibles. Anyway, but basically, remember that no matter how bad you're feeling right now, you weren't feeling like that a few days ago. Even if you were feeling like that a few days ago, a few days before that, you weren't feeling like that. Nothing stays the same. When you're down, when you're depressed, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's literally a tunnel. A lot of people don't understand that. They think that you're just being morose for the sake of being morose, or attention or whatever, but it's not. It is like a cloud floating over you, but the cloud sort of stays at this level. It's not above your head, it's actually around you, so you're just in the darkness all the time, and it saps your energy out of you. But you have to remember that for a stone, even things change for that. Things change around it. So if you just want to be still, this is the whole going back to taking your day off. Let things change around you. So my 4-word thing to remember that is things change things. And what that means is things will inevitably change whether you like them or not. So if you're not able to change your circumstances, just wait there, let things change, or change things. And that basically means if you're able to do anything, any of these things on the list or anything else you can think of that will make a slight difference to how you're feeling and how your life, your quality of life, then do that. So change things, If you can't do that, let things change. Change things, things change. Things change, change things. It's a circular thing. It's a really simple thing to remember. And that's what it's about. If, for example, you cut yourself, so the best thing to do is either apply some medical attention or treat it in some way. Obviously, if you're not bleeding to death or whatever, but if you're not able to do, imagine you were trapped somewhere, you're unconscious, and you had a cut on your hand. Not a big one, but you just had a cut. Over time, that will heal up. I'm not saying your life will get better instantly if you're depressed, but take some steps, no matter what they are. Like I say, even if they're tiny things, even if it's eating a bag of radishes, yummy. Just take some little steps to change things. But if you can't, don't worry about it, because this is nothing's gonna stay the same. So just let things change around you, and then when you're ready, get back up. And when you are feeling a bit more positive, go for it. Really, throw yourself out there. I've got other types of coping strategies and things, and it all sounds a bit techno-babbly, but life can be hard, and I don't have all the answers. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a qualified expert. I don't think I'm as qualified to speak on depression as many people, but one person's feeling down is another person's life torture, but everyone lives in their own head, so I may not have a lot of problems compared to some people, but then I might have 10 times more problems compared to other people. So try not to judge everyone else. We're all fighting a bit of a battle up here, no matter what it is. We've all got worries that we don't talk about. All I can say is spread the positivity if you can. Try and reach out to people. Try and be nice to people. Avoid the people who are basically the dead wood in your life, sucking the energy from you. Avoid them as best you can. You don't have to be nasty about it, but you need to back away or walk away or make yourself too busy to deal with their stuff, So that's my 10 things. I'll try and put the captions up as to what that is. I hope that's helped somebody. I don't get a lot of viewers. I'm not a major YouTube player or anything like that, but I know I have got friends, a lot of friends on Facebook who pay attention to the nonsense that I spout on here and the stuff I put online. Basically, I feel that since hitting rock bottom, I've managed to crawl back up. It's taken me far too long, but I'm not going to feel bad about how long it's taken me. I'm just going to be glad that I am where I am, and I'm a lot more positive. I may get 1 or 2 down days a month, but I'm not saying there's a cure for this kind of thing. There may never be a cure, because you think about things differently after being hit with something really hard. But that's fine. Remember that that if your life was just completely blissful, like everything's like yay, that will become monotonous at some point. So anyway, I'm going to sign off right now. I'm going to do another video at some point very soon. My usual Tuesday video, I've got a new condenser mic to open up. Ooh, shiny. I've got that. I've got news on the robot suit, which is currently in transit, we hope. And we'll do a video on that in a couple of days. So with that said, have fun, be happy, spread the love, and remember, things change things, okay? Take care now, bye bye then.